In the beginning was the Word, and that Word is still creating, still commanding, still shaping the substance of the universe. Every word you speak is a decree to the unseen, a vibration that goes forth to fulfill its mission. There are no idle words in spirit. Every syllable spoken under the fire of belief becomes law, for you were not created to beg, you were created to command. You are the mouthpiece of God, the vessel through which divine power shapes form. When you speak with authority, heaven listens, and earth obeys. Say aloud, "Say, my word is law, my decree is substance, my faith is force." Speak it until your bones remember it, until your breath carries it like thunder through every cell of your being. The law of spoken command is not a theory. It is an operation of divine law, precise, mathematical, unfailing. The universe is obedient, waiting for instruction. The ethers hold infinite substance, but they remain still until you speak. It is your declaration that gives them action, your conviction that gives them form. You have spoken poverty and called it normal. You have spoken fear and called it realism. You have spoken doubt and called it caution. And so the law, being perfect and impartial, gave you exactly what you decreed. But now you awaken to truth. You realize that every word you release is a seed, and every seed must return multiplied. Therefore, speak only that which you desire to see, for the soil of the universe is fertile and swift to obey. Say aloud, "I command wealth. I command peace. I command divine order." For command is the language of the awakened. When you speak under divine authority, you are not pleading with the universe. You are aligning it. You are reminding creation of its original order. You are the lawgiver of your life, and your tongue is the scepter of your dominion. Every time you speak with faith, angels move, energy rearranges, and substance forms around your decree. Your words go before you to prepare your way. The why travel through invisible corridors, opening doors that your human hands could never touch. That is why idle speech is dangerous, and why complaining is costly. For every utterance is an order written in the invisible. The universe does not interpret your emotion, it responds to your vibration. Whether you speak fear or faith, the law obeys. Whether you decree lack or plenty, the law fulfills. Therefore, watch your words as you would guard your treasure, for your words are treasure, seeds of creation, gold of the unseen realm. Say aloud, "Every word I speak prospers the way it is sent." Feel the power of that truth. Feel it rise in you like divine fire, for your mouth is the gate of manifestation, and through it the unseen becomes seen. When you decree health, health takes form. When you speak prosperity, opportunities align. When you command joy, heaviness dissolves. You are not waiting for God to move. God is waiting for you to speak. The silence of hesitation is the grave of miracles. The moment you speak with certainty, the law activates. Spirit rushes forth like lightning, shaping the ether into evidence. That is why the wise speak little but speak powerfully. They understand that every word is a command, every affirmation a declaration of divine order. Say aloud, "Let there be increase in my life," and it is so. Feel the command leave your lips, and know that creation is responding. Say, "Every door meant for me opens swiftly under grace." Say, "Money, come forth now in perfect and divine order." Speak not as one in need, but as one in dominion. Speak as a king in his kingdom, a queen in her realm, a divine being exercising spiritual law. For this is the secret the ancients knew, that to speak is to create, and to declare is to reign. When you master the law of spoken command, you no longer chase, you call. You no longer strive, you summon. You no longer hope, you decree. And the moment your words match your vibration, the universe bows in recognition, saying, "And 'tis done." Say to next, when you are ready for the expansion of the next keynote, the vibration of wealth. The vibration of wealth. Everything in the universe moves by vibration. Wealth is not a number. It is a tone, a rhythm, a sacred pulse that flows from the mind of the Creator into the world of form. You cannot chase it, you must match it. You cannot plead for it, you must become it. The vibration of wealth is not found in worry, not found in fear, not found in the anxious grasping of those who think money is outside of them. The vibration of wealth lives in calm knowing, in divine certainty, in the radiant awareness that supply already exists, and it is yours by right of consciousness. Say aloud, "And I am one with the vibration of wealth." Feel those words move through your being like a command, to every cell, every thought, every atom. For vibration is alignment, and alignment is creation. You are not trying to get money, you are returning to your natural state of div. Inopulence. Poverty is the forgetting of who you are. Abundance is the remembering of your source. Everything that appears in your life is tuned to the station of your belief. If you vibrate scarcity, lack will find you. If you vibrate abundance, wealth will chase you. The universe is not withholding, it is responding. It mirrors the song you sing within. And when that song is harmony with divine plenty, gold, favor, and opportunity begin to appear as if from the air. But they were always there. Only your frequency had to rise to meet them. Say aloud, "Attune my mind to the frequency of divine riches." Speak it until you feel the static of fear dissolve. Speak it until the noise of doubt is silenced. For you are the tuning fork of creation. You determine the tone. Every thought of gratitude raises your signal. Every word of faith amplifies your resonance. Every act of generosity magnifies your power. You cannot receive beyond your vibration, and you cannot sustain what your consci. Ausness rejects. Money is not drawn to effort. It is drawn to energy. It hears the sound of joy, the vibration of ease, the hum of faith. It flees the discord of fear, the heaviness of resentment, the silence of unworthiness. That is why you must not fight for money. You must vibrate as if you already possess it. You must walk as wealth, speak as wealth, think as wealth, breathe as wealth. For the moment you feel rich in spirit, the outer must obey the inner. Say aloud, "I am already rich, for I live in infinite supply." Let this become your inner rhythm, your secret melody. The vibration of wealth is joy, not the joy that follows abundance, but the joy that creates it. When you are joyful before the evidence, you declare to the universe, "I already know." And the universe, being lawful, must deliver the evidence to match your knowing. Never say, need, say, fee, have. Never say, a lack, say, overflow. The poor speak of delay, the rich in spirit speak of immediacy. The MO. Meant you declare abundance. Now, not later. Your frequency shifts from waiting to possessing. Time bends to the vibration of certainty. Matter reorganizes around spiritual truth. There is a sound that wealth recognizes. It is the vibration of gratitude spoken with authority. When you thank God before the miracle appears, you create the path by which it arrives. When you celebrate provision before it manifests, you accelerate its coming. For gratitude is not a reaction, it is a frequency, it is the music of manifestation. Say aloud, "My vibration is wealth, my atmosphere is prosperity, my energy is divine opulence." Feel your aura expanding with each declaration. You are no longer chasing, you are radiating. You are no longer asking, you are embodying. You are no longer hoping, you are vibrating as the fulfilled promise. The rich in consciousness are never desperate, for they know that wealth is not something they acquire. It is something they allow. They are calm because they understand that the vibration of wealth is peace. They are generous because they understand that the vibration of wealth is circulation. They are thankful because they understand that the vibration of wealth is divine remembrance. So, stand tall, lift your voice, and decree with fire, "I am the living vibration of wealth." Every breath I take multiplies my abundance. Every thought I think expands my supply. Every action I take flows in divine rhythm with prosperity. And as you speak, so it becomes. The universe tunes itself to your command. Money begins to move, people begin to appear, doors begin to open, not because you begged, but because you vibrated as law. For wealth does not come to the one who tries, it comes to the one who is. Say to our next, when you are ready for the expansion of the next keynote, divine identity and authority. Divine identity and authority. You were not born to bow before circumstance. You were born to command it. You are not a wanderer in a hostile universe. You are a divine being clothed in form, carrying the authority of the infinite within your very breath. You have forgotten who you are, and the world has mirrored your forgetfulness. But now you awaken. Now the veil is torn, and revelation thunders through your spirit. You are the expression of God in action. Every word you speak, every thought you hold, every decree you release is charged with creative fire. Say aloud, I am divine authority in motion. Feel that truth anchor itself in your bones. You have walked as though powerless, while the heavens waited for your remembrance. You have prayed for what was already yours, sought what was never lost, pleaded for what was placed within you from the beginning of time. The universe does not pity you. It obeys you. It bends to the sound of your conviction. The same spirit that flung the stars into being breathes in you, speaks through you, and commands worlds by your decree. You are not separate from God. You are the extension of His sea. Consciousness. To doubt your power is to insult your source. To deny your authority is to deny the truth of your origin. You are not a servant of circumstance. You are the lawgiver of your world. The conditions around you are but reflections of the identity within you. Change your knowing, and the mirror must shift. Declare, I and my source are one. Therefore, all that is mine in spirit must appear in form. The moment you accept your divine identity, struggle ends. For struggle belongs to those who believe they are small, and conflict lives only in the minds of the divided. But you are whole, infinite, complete. You are not trying to become divine. You are awakening to the fact that you already are. Authority is not earned, it is recognized. You are heir to divine dominion, and your inheritance is unlimited. All that the Father has is yours, not by merit, but by nature. Say aloud, command my world by divine right. Let the vibration of those words reverberate through the sphere. Authority is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are not exalting the ego, you are restoring order to creation. The universe waits for you to remember your name. You are the Christ-conscious one, the awakened soul, the heir of infinite supply. You are spirit individualized, and therefore all power is accessible to you through belief and decree. When you speak from divine identity, doors open without force. When you act from divine authority, the invisible army of spirit goes before you. There is no resistance in divine order. There is no delay in divine right. The law moves swiftly when it hears the voice of recognition. That voice is your voice, strong, certain, creative. You no longer ask, can I? You declare, I am. And the moment you say, I am, the substance of the universe arranges itself around your declaration. Say aloud, I am one with infinite intelligence. I am one with divine power. I am one with eternal wealth. Each affirmation is a key turning in the lock. Your destiny. Each declaration is a trumpet that calls the invisible into manifestation. The timid hope, the divine command, the uncertain wish, the awakened decree. You must no longer identify as a seeker. You are a revealer. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the author of it. The authority of spirit is not loud. It is certain. It is not aggressive. It is absolute. When you know who you are, even your silence carries power. When you walk in remembrance, even your shadow brings order. You are the living word made flesh, the thought of God clothed in visibility. No condition can overrule you, no limitation can bind you, no delay can deny you, for divine law recognizes only identity. Declare, I stand as divine authority in every area of my life. I speak as the voice of abundance. I move as the power of creation. I live as the consciousness of God. Say it until you feel the vibration of mastery rise within you. You were never meant to serve fear, you were meant to over in faith. You were never meant to wait for signs, you were meant to be the sign. Now rise, command, and decree, for the authority you seek has always been within you. Heaven listens when you speak from your true name. The world obeys when you remember who you are. Say it once more, and let it echo through the unseen. And I am divine identity. I am divine authority. I am that I am. Say percent next. When you are ready for the expansion of the next keynote, the law of non-resistance. The law of non-resistance. There is a river that flows through all creation, effortless, endless, divine. It moves without struggle, it provides without delay, it creates without effort. This is the current of spirit, the sacred flow that never stops. When you resist it, you suffer. When you release control, it carries you into miracles. The law of non-resistance is the law of divine ease, the secret of those who move mountains without lifting a hand. For what you fight, you give life to. What you surrender, you transform. Say aloud, and I flow with the rhythm of divine order. Feel the tension melt from your body as those words awaken truth within you. You were never meant to wrestle with life. You were meant to align with it. The anxious mind tries to control every outcome, but spirit already holds the blueprint. When you push, you block. When you fear, you bind. When you trust, you open the gates of abundance. The universe moves in perfection. It needs no interference, only obedience. Non-resistance is not weakness, it is mastery. It is the still strength of knowing that all things are working in your favor. When you cease to fight conditions, conditions lose power. When you stop opposing appearances, they dissolve before your peace. The moment you say, let go, the law takes over. The unseen power that governs the stars begins to govern your affairs. You enter the divine flow where supply, favor, and opportunity move toward you in perfect rhythm. Say aloud, I resist nothing. I yield to divine intelligence. The ocean does not struggle to reach the shore, it simply flows. The sun does not argue with the clouds, it simply shines. So too must you release all friction, for resistance is the language of fear. And fear builds walls where spirit would open doors. Let go of the need to be right, to control, to plan every step, for divine mind has already ordered your path in ways higher than your comprehension. The law of non-resistance teaches that surrender is not giving up, it is giving over. It is handing every burden to the infinite intelligence that knows no failure. You cannot solve a problem on the level of struggle. You must rise to the level of flow. Speak this now, Sai rise into divine flow. Everything that belongs to me arrives in peace. Feel that peace expanding, dissolving tension, erasing fear, replacing control with quiet confidence. For when you relax into spirit, everything begins to move. The phone call comes, the money appears, the right people arrive. Doors open not through effort, but through alignment. When you resist, you declare, Son, I do not trust the law. But when you release, you declare, I know the law cannot fail. And so, it fulfills your faith. The river does not stop for the rock, it flows around it. The wind does not fight the mountain, it moves above it. In the same way, your spirit bypasses every obstacle when you flow instead of fight. Resistance hardens the heart, flow opens the way. Say aloud, nothing and no one can oppose my good. All things move toward me under grace. These are not gentle words, they are decrees of power. The one who practices non-resistance does not lie idle. They act with inspired certainty, free of fear, unattached to result. They know that divine order has already gone before them. They move in peace, and peace becomes their magnet. Non-resistance is the silence that commands the storm. It is the calm within that shifts the world without. When you no longer argue with appearances, you become the master of them. You no longer ask, how will this work out? You declare, Son already has. You no longer question the delay, you understand. Divine timing is not denial. It is perfection in motion. Say aloud, and move with the current of God, and therefore I am unstoppable. Let that truth settle into your bones, for the current of spirit never fails. The more you relax, the faster you rise. The more you surrender, the more you receive. The more you trust, the more you transform. Resistance is the anchor of the old self. Flow is the wind of the divine self. Choose flow, and you choose power. Choose surrender, and you choose manifestation. Choose peace, and you choose prosperity. Now, breathe deeply and decree, Son, I yield to divine order. I am at peace with all that is. I resist nothing, and therefore, all things come to me swiftly and easily. under grace and in perfect ways. And as you release, the river carries you straight into your destiny. Say the next, oof. You are ready for the expansion of the next keynote, the alignment of mind and spirit. The alignment of mind and spirit. All power is born in alignment. When the mind and the spirit move as one, miracles obey. When they war, confusion reigns. The divided self is powerless, but the unified self is unstoppable. The moment your thoughts agree with the truth of your spirit, heaven rushes to perform your decree. You were never meant to live in conflict with your own divinity. The mind is the instrument, the spirit is the power. The mind is the lens, the spirit is the light. When the lens is clear, the light flows unhindered, and your life becomes radiant with order, wealth, and peace. Say aloud, feel like my mind is one with divine mind. My thoughts obey spirit. Feel the command in those words, for this is not gentle affirmation. It is restoration of dominion. The human mind is a wonderful servant but a cruel master. It was never meant to lead the spirit but to serve it. When the mind tries to rule by logic, fear is born. When the spirit rules by truth, harmony returns. The alignment of mind and spirit is the end of struggle, the end of divided will, the end of delay. You have two voices within, one of fear, one of faith. One sees limits, the other sees infinity. One speaks from memory, the other from revelation. The voice you obey determines your world. When your mind repeats lack, it blocks supply. When your spirit declares abundance, it opens the floodgates. The key is agreement. Thought and belief joined as one command. Say aloud, my mind agrees with the riches of my spirit. My thoughts are tuned to divine supply. You are not two beings. You are one essence expressed through form. The spirit already holds every answer, every provision, every door. The mind must learn to mirror that knowing, to think as spirit thinks, to expect as spirit expects. For spirit never doubts, never delays, never fears. It is the still blazing certainty that all is well, all is done, all is flowing. The moment your thoughts harmonize with that vibration, miracles move without resistance. Alignment is not struggle, it is surrender. It is the sacred moment when the mind stops arguing and begins to listen. When the mind stops planning and begins to trust. When the mind stops fearing and begins to remember. For spirit is not afar off. It is within you, waiting for recognition. You do not reach for God, you reveal God through alignment. Say aloud, I think only what divine mind thinks through me. I am synchronized with eternal intelligence. In that state of oneness, every thought becomes a seed of power. Your affirmations are no longer empty words, they become decrees charged with divine electricity. When the mind is aligned with spirit, your word carries weight. It moves through the ethers like lightning. It does not ask permission, it performs. The law obeys because the law recognizes its source. The misaligned mind prays and doubts in the same breath. It cancels its own command. But the aligned mind prays once and knows it is done. It does not revisit the request. It thanks the universe for the fulfillment. This is faith in operation, consciousness at one with creation. The moment you stop questioning how and begin resting in truth, you become magnetic. You begin to see doors open without knocking, solutions appear without searching, money flow without chasing. Say aloud, there is no division in me. My mind and spirit are one in purpose, one in power, one in peace. The double-minded man receives nothing, for he pulls in two directions. But the unified soul receives swiftly, for he walks in one vibration, the vibration of certainty. The world obeys the consciousness that knows no contradiction. When you align your mind with spirit, every thought becomes prayer, and every prayer becomes reality. Your very being radiates command. People feel your peace and are drawn to it. Opportunities sense your certainty and move toward it. Money hears your confidence and hastens to obey. You are no longer a seeker of alignment, you are alignment embodied. Declare it now, and my thoughts are divine law in motion. My mind is a perfect channel for spirit. I see as God sees, I think as God thinks, I act as God acts. And as you speak it, so it becomes. For in the silence of inner harmony, creation unfolds effortlessly. This is the secret of all manifestation, not effort, but agreement, not striving, but synchronization. The mind must echo what the spirit already knows, that you are whole, supplied, and unstoppable. The moment that echo becomes clear, heaven and earth move as one, and your word is made flesh. Say it once more with power, and I am in perfect alignment with divine mind. Therefore, all that is mine by right of consciousness appears now, swiftly and gracefully, under grace and in perfect ways. And it is so. Say to next time when you are ready for the expansion of the next keynote. The covenant of continuous supply. The covenant of continuous supply. There is a law that never sleeps, a covenant that never fails, the covenant of continuous supply. It is the promise written into the fabric of creation, the eternal decree that lack is illusion and provision is perpetual. The universe is not stingy, it is overflowing. Spirit is not limited, it is infinite. Supply is not earned, it is recognized. You were not born to scrape for survival. You were born to live as the heir of divine abundance. The covenant of continuous supply was sealed in your very breath. Every inhalation declares, "But there is more." Every exhalation affirms, "And it flows through me freely." Say aloud, "I am one with the covenant of continuous supply." Let those words awaken the truth buried beneath fear. There is no interruption in divine flow, only your belief in interruption. There is no withholding in the kingdom, only the illusion of separation. When you live by the covenant, you stop praying from need and begin declaring from knowing. Why? Stop chasing money and begin commanding movement. For in the law of supply there is no pause, no delay, no break in rhythm. There is only the eternal outpouring of good. Money is not your source, it is the servant of source. Jobs, clients, ideas, opportunities. These are merely channels, never the fountain. The fountain is within you, ever springing, ever renewing. When one channel closes, another appears. When one door shuts, three more open. Say aloud, "And I live under divine economy, where supply is unending and opportunities multiply by law." For when you anchor in this truth, fear dissolves, and certainty begins its reign. The covenant of continuous supply is not based on circumstance, it is based on consciousness. When you think abundance, you summon abundance. When you speak increase, the universe rearranges itself to mirror your decree. When you act in faith, the flow accelerates. You are not waiting for a miracle, you are the living proof of one, you are the open channel, through which Spirit pours riches, wisdom, and provision without measure. Say aloud, "For my supply is spiritual and inexhaustible. It never stops, it never slows, it never fails." Feel the vibration of that truth moving through your being. The divine source does not ration, it radiates. It is not concerned with inflation, with markets, with economies, for it transcends them all. Those who know this law walk in peace when others panic, for their wealth is not held in banks but in belief. They know that to align with spirit is to align with endless flow. This covenant was never meant to be broken, only forgotten. Humanity fell asleep in fear and began to worship limitation. But the awakened soul remembers, supply is my birthright, flow is my nature, abundance is my inheritance. You cannot serve both spirit and scarcity. You must choose your master, and when you choose divine supply, you choose freedom. You become immune to the outer world's fluctuations because your wealth is not dependent on form. It is governed by faith. Say aloud, "And I am the open door through which the riches of God flow freely and continuously." Every time you affirm this, invisible channels widen, unseen opportunities gather, and dormant ideas awaken. You are surrounded by substance eager to take shape through your consciousness. Every desire you hold is Spirit's invitation to expand the flow. When you speak of abundance, the current strengthens. When you act in generosity, the current multiplies. When you trust, the current becomes unstoppable. There is no ebb and flow in spirit, only flow. The tides of your life rise and fall only by the rhythm of your belief. When you know the covenant, you stand firm even in the appearance of lack. You declare, "Aunt, even now supply is moving toward me. Even now my provision is unfolding in perfect order." And as you speak it, the illusion of emptiness dissolves. For faith never waits. It receives now. Say aloud, "I am eternally supplied, infinitely secure, and divinely maintained." This is not poetry. It is prophecy. The covenant of continuous supply guarantees that there can be no vacuum in your life unless your own consciousness creates it. Fill that vacuum with praise, with gratitude, with certainty, and watch how swiftly the flow returns. You are one with the river of divine provision, and that river cannot run dry. Declare it with fire, and I live under divine covenant. My supply is continuous, my wealth is eternal, my good is unstoppable. Let heaven and earth bear witness to your decree. For once you awaken to the covenant, you never fear again. You know that even before you ask, it is given, even before you need, it is supplied. This is the unbreakable law of the Spirit, the covenant that ensures you will never want, never lack, never fall behind. You are sustained by the infinite, and the infinite cannot fail. Say it one final time, and let the truth resound through all realms. For my life is the covenant of continuous supply. And it flows, now and forever, under grace and in perfect ways.